Donald Trump has been arraigned today, and it's in regard to his third indictment, this time having to do with his attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. And the big question is, what does this mean for his campaign? More importantly, what does it mean if he actually gets reelected as president of the United States and he has to stand trial or potentially even get convicted while he's a sitting president? Well, here's what we know if Trump wins the presidency. Were Trump to be elected again and a federal case still be pending on Inauguration Day, he could simply use his power as president to force the Justice Department to drop the matter, as he has suggested he might do. So that's a possibility.
Yeah, so you know that in the charges in New York are state charges, the potential charges in Georgia are state charges, but the two biggest ones are the federal ones. This is the current indictment that is about January 6th and doing the fake elector scheme to do a coup, and the one about the national secrets and the documents that he took to Mar-a-Lago with him. Both of those are federal. Number one, if they're ongoing, he could just say, we drop the cases instantly. So that way you never even get to find out if he's guilty or not. The jury doesn't get to rule on it. And of course, if they've already ruled and he's guilty, he just pardons himself.
That's exactly right. Now, remember, there's the federal cases. He has, if he were to be elected again, he would have the ability to potentially drop those cases. Then there's the state cases that I want to talk about. So the Constitution does not give presidents supervisory authority over state prosecutions. So Trump would not be able to simply call off the case in New York, which is scheduled for trial in March, as the election is heating up, by the way, nor would that approach work for a potential case in Georgia, where the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis, has indicated she is nearing a decision on charges in her own election interference investigation. Obviously, we can only predict or speculate what she will decide to do, but based on her public comments, it does appear that she plans on pressing charges against Trump in that case. Again, that's just my speculation, we don't know for sure. But Trump could try to delay those prosecutions should he get elected. And if he's convicted before he wins, he might be able to pardon himself, and he does plan to try to do that. According to the New York Times, it is not clear whether a self-pardon would be legitimate, but no text in the Constitution bars a president from doing so, and the issue has never been tested in court. So Cenk, we can only speculate as to what would happen in that scenario, since this is unprecedented. What do you think would happen?
So let's say that, so the federal cases are clear. He's going to get rid of them the minute he wins the election. It's over, right? It doesn't matter if the jury said guilty already, gave him a 20-year sentence, etc. Instantly gone. And co-conspirators, you're all free to go, right? But for the state charges, I can't imagine that they would say, well, the president of the United States, this is in the hypothetical where he wins, and there's no question about it, right? The president of the United States is now behind bars in Rikers Island, and he'll be presidenting a made up word I love, from Rikers. No, that's not gonna happen, okay? Right. So what'll likely happen is, well, number one, they'll do appeals. That might last 4 years in and of itself. But even if he's gone through all the appeals, they'll very likely say he will serve after his term is up. Right, and so because he's got to be president, or maybe
if his term is up,
right? If his term's ever up, and that's what we're all worried about. But the funniest thing in the world would be if they did house arrest, as in the White House.
Oh, that would be a freaking vacation. I mean, that's like the presidency of his dreams. That's what he wanted to do all day anyway.
But could you imagine the president of the United States is serving house arrest in the White House? Okay.
I mean,
if he had an ankle bracelet and the world leaders had to come see him because he literally can't leave the White House because he's under arrest.
That's also not gonna happen.
Okay, now again, those things are amazing possibilities, theoretically possible, but number one, the elites. Number two, reality. Like if he won the presidency, you gotta let him serve. And so he can't do it from behind a prison cell. There's no way they're gonna let him stay in prison while he's the president. So that's partly why Trump, there's one thing Trump is right about. He's telling all of his voters, hey, listen, you guys voting for me is a get out of jail free card for all of us. We just break law over and over and over again. Me and my supporters, if you guys, by the way, the January 6th guys, I'm gonna pardon a lot of you all, right? You just break the law, be violent, do whatever the hell you want, and as long as we win, I just wipe them all away. Law doesn't matter anymore, the Constitution doesn't matter, democracy doesn't matter, there are no laws. Let's just go nuts. And by the way, that's what happens in fascist regimes. They send in brown shirts and promote vigilante violence, they ignore the laws, and might makes right. And today, Marjorie Taylor Greene said we're in a post-Constitution world. Now, what does that mean? People go, I don't know what that means. I know what it means. She's saying, we're pretending you didn't listen to the Constitution based on nothing. You commit a crime, you get prosecuted. Of course that's in the Constitution. Like, there's nothing unconstitutional about that at all, not 1%.
Oh,
right?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought you meant she was trying to imply that screw the Constitution, it doesn't matter.
No, she is implying that.
Oh, okay.
So she's saying, oh, the Democrats struck first against the Constitution.
Did they though?
They did, of course they did. She made it up. You know it's in the Constitution that if your name is Donald J. Trump, you're not allowed to be prosecuted. No, look, to be fair, she didn't say that, right? But her arguments are hyperbolic and ridiculous and have no basis in fact. But why? Why is she saying that? She's saying that for the same reason that Trump today put out a statement saying, wait till we get in charge, then we're gonna have strike back. Yeah. Okay, so meaning we don't give a goddamn if you broke a law or didn't break the law. We're gonna put all of you people in prison, and we're in a post-constitutional world now, so we don't have to listen to the Constitution. And we're gonna pretend it's because, oh, you guys did it first. No, there's a giant difference. All the difference in the world of being prosecuted for something you did versus something you didn't do. Okay, so you can't just say, and that's why, look guys, if they cared about principles or ideas at all, they would never say this stuff out loud, right? But you wouldn't say, like Marjorie Taylor Greene did, I'm gonna impeach Biden on day one. That's what she proposed on day one. Because then people know you don't care if he did anything wrong, you just wanna impeach him for political reasons. Exactly. So that's a fact. And now she's saying, basically, I don't care if Trump did it or not. I don't care what the Constitution says. We're gonna prosecute all of you guys and we're gonna try to put you in prison for crimes we haven't even alleged. We haven't even alleged. It doesn't matter what you did. We're gonna lock you up. And remember, they always believe this. That's why the #1 chant during the 2016 election for Republicans about Hillary Clinton was, lock her up, lock her up. Facts don't matter. Might makes right. That is Fascist 101. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.